What is negative 3 times negative 4? Positive 3 and positive 4 would make it 12, but negative? In this video, we're going to go over how to multiply and divide negative numbers and prove why the sign rules for multiplication and division work. But before we start, if you haven't watched the adding and subtracting negative numbers video, I would recommend you to go watch that first. The link is in the description, or you can click on this icon here. The video will build on those ideas. In the last video, we established one core idea. Negative means opposite direction, and we showed that subtraction is really just addition in the opposite direction. We can write this as minus x is equal to adding negative x. Keep that idea in mind because it's going to show up here again. Let's start simple. Positive times negative. What does 3 times negative 4 actually mean? In the last video, we said adding means moving along, and we used the number line to make sense of things. Let's do the same thing here. Multiplication is just repeated addition, so 3 times negative 4 is just negative 4 added 3 times. So negative 4 plus negative 4 plus negative 4. Let's imagine a number line, and on this number line, we're moving along to the left 3 times, each time by 4. That'll give us negative 12. So you can see that positive times a negative gives a negative. This makes complete sense from what we already know about direction. We're moving along to the left any number of times, which is going to be negative. You can try a problem included in the description for this. Now let's do the interesting one. Negative times negative. If you've seen our video on why negative times negative equals positive, we prove this rule in full detail there using patterns and algebra. Link is in the description, and I highly recommend watching it to get a complete understanding. But let's try to understand this rule using a little trick, which is a little hand-wavy, but it works. Remember, multiplying means up, and negative means the opposite direction. So what happens if we go the opposite of the opposite direction? So we go to the left, and then we go to the right, opposite of the opposite. We end up facing the same direction. So a negative times a negative cancels out to give us positive. So a negative times negative equals positive. So the answer to this question will just be positive here because negative times negative equals positive. And then 3 times 4, we can do that individually, which is 12. So this is going to be positive 12. Again, there's another question you can try in the description. Here's a summary of everything we learned so far. So remember, same signs give positive and different signs give negative. But now you know why, not just what. Now let's move on to division. And this is where it gets really interesting. Remember in the last video we said subtraction is just addition in the opposite direction. Division is the exact same idea. It's just multiplication in reverse. So we said 3 times negative 4 equals negative 12. But that must also mean that negative 12 divided by 3 is equal to negative 4. And that negative 12 divided by negative 4 is equal to 3. The relationship goes both ways. So the sign rules for multiplication and division are identical. We'll go more over how multiplication and division are related, and actually the same thing in another video, so stay tuned for that. So in summary, we have a case where the same signs give us positive and different signs give us negative, the exact same thing as multiplication. Now knowing this, try solving the question on division in the description box below. Now, here's a final question you can try that'll combine everything, and leave your answers in the comments. Remember, every rule in this video comes down to one idea, which shows how math can be broken down from really complicated stuff to easy stuff, and I'll see you in the next video.